In Science 7, we have studied about the thunders and cyclones and all other things. So, the last topic which we have studied was the lightning only. So, in this earthquake topic, let us have some of the understanding about it. So, what are the things? These natural phenomena can cause a large scale destruction to the human life and their properties, as we know very well. Now, fortunately, these phenomena can be predicted to some extent, but there is one natural phenomena which could not be predicted by anyone, that is the earthquake. Okay. So, what is this earthquake actually? Now, we have heard about some of the news also, then some of the talks also from our parents and the grandparents also, that the earthquake which we have seen is the worst one, was not able to understand that what is happening at that time. So, we can see that we have been the eyewitness of few of these activities. Now, these activities are: the major earthquake occurred in India on 8th of the October in 2005, that is what in Uri, that is in the Tangdar towns of the North Kashmir, and before that the major earthquake which we have also faced again and being the witness over there occurred on 26th of the January on 2001 in the Bhuj district of the Gujarat. Over whole of the Gujarat region, we have just felt also that how dangerous it would have been over there in the Bhuj. It was little bit less over there in other places, but the epicenter you can say was in the Bhuj. So that was most dangerous over there in the Bhuj. Then this activity, that is 15.5. It is very sad that we have lost so many of the life over there, and we have lost so many of the properties also of the peoples over there. So we can have this activity. They are saying that ask your parents about the huge damage to the life and the property caused by the earthquakes. Collect a few pictures showing the damage caused by these earthquakes from the newspapers and the magazines of those days. Prepare a short report on the suffering of the people during and after the earthquake. So it was a worst situation that we can say we have faced at that time, because no foodstuffs, no water and nothing to be for the livelihood. So these were the worst conditions that our parents have also witnessed and we also have witnessed, but you people have not seen it, so you can say that you can have it from the newspapers also. Now, what is the earthquake actually? We have heard about the thunder, that how it is occurring, but now what is the earthquake, then how it is occurring? So we can say that the shaken means an earthquake is the sudden shaking or the trembling of the earth which lasts for a very short time, but during this short time also when it is shaking, we can say that हमारे पैरों के नीचे से ज़मीन खिसक जाती है, ऐसा फील होता है. So it is the base where we are standing, and if the base is just slipped off or moving apart, we cannot help ourselves also. So it is very dangerous when the earthquakes are being faced. Okay. So we can say that the earthquakes can cause the floods, landscapes also, landslides also, and the tsunamis also. Why does it happen? If the earthquakes are occurred on the land portions, then we can have that the landslides will be occurring. Why? Because the land will be moving apart, and thus they will be moving with the slides also. Layers will be coming out from the, we have seen already in the Haridwar and all places. But the floods, why does it happen? Now, if the earthquake will be occurring in the sea bodies, so what will be happening over there? When the water is just trembling over there and the shocks will be coming over there, the water may be coming in the big layers and will be acquiring a place over there on the earth also. So that will be causing as a result to the flood also and to the tsunamis also. Now here we can say that the major tsunami occurred in the Indian Ocean on 26th of the December, that was on 2004. All the coastal areas around the ocean suffered a huge losses because the whole of the water has just spread over there and there was nothing being left over. The next activity is saying about the same thing, that you can collect, outline map the world, locate the earthen coast and the Andaman and the Nicobar Islands in the India, that you know very well, because in social we have studied that which of the places are covered over there in the Andaman and Nicobar Dweep Samu. So Dweep islands over there. Mark the other countries around the Indian Oceans which could have suffered damage, because that are the small places which could have faced the same damage, that is in the Sri Lanka also, over there in the other places also which are very small but located in the Indian Oceans also. So collect the accounts of these devastations caused by the tsunami in India from your parents or other elders in the family or in the neighborhood. Now, so these are the conditions that the people would have faced over there, which are living especially in the islands over there. Next we have, what causes an earthquake, the reason behind this. So here Bujo is saying a very funny thing. My grandmother told me that the earth is balanced on the horn of a bull, and when the bull shifts it to the other horn, an earthquake takes place. And how could it be true? So in the minds of the other, we can say our religions only, we have so many of the stories regarding this, that the god is playing with the earth as a ball. Then we have the same thing as being said by the Bujo, that it is on the horn of the Varaha avatar. Okay, so these are some of the myths that we may be facing in stories, but when we come to the science fiction or when we come to the science latest by us, so what will be faced by them? We know that being a science student, we can never say that it is held on some god or horns or somewhere else. Okay, so truly saying, we are just facing that the earth is only a place where the life is possible. Just now we are still finding in other planets also, but just now we are placed on the earth and we have so many of the water, that is almost 75% of the earth covered with the water. And we have known that whenever the shaking is occurring in the earth's layer, the earthquake will occur. It is not the movement of any of the horn of the god, or it is not the movement of the earth with the playing as a football by anyone. Okay, so these are just the myths only. There is no reality over there, but being a mythological person, we can believe on that. Okay. Now, in the ancient time, people did not know the true aspects or the true causes of the earthquake. So, their ideas were therefore expressed in the mythical stories, such as they told by the Bujo's grandmother. Now, similar myths were also prevalent for the other parts of the world also. Suppose in China, if we will go, we can find that the dragon is there who is playing the ball, and thus we are having the earthquakes. So, the people, when they were not educated, so that time they can say these type of the stories, but now being educated, we know very well that what are the reality of the life. So, what the Paheli is saying, that what could cause a disturbance inside the earth? Yes, we are not going inside the earth, but why does it happen again? So, here we know the answer. Now, we know that the tremors are caused by the disturbance deep down inside the uppermost layer of the earth called the crust. Now, here we have the picture in front of you, where you can see that the layers of the earth are present. So, on the topmost layer where we are present is known as the crust. So, and below that we have the mantle, and below that we have the outer core, and the central portion we can say is the core. So, these are the things or the layers which are present in the earth. Now, here we can have that earth is not in a one piece. It is not one piece. It is fragmented in the different places. So, we can have named as them as the plate. These are the plates. When they will be moving a little bit, we can feel the strokes over there, and we can have the earthquake being occurred because of the movement of these small plates. Now, we can have the another picture also. See, this picture will be showing you the earth plates. Now, here we find that the different colors are visible. So, these will be showing you the different types of the plates. Now, which goes under another in the collision. Now, these plates when be collided to each other, they will be giving us the waves, means these will be forming the strikes, and thus we will be having the earthquake also on the earth's crust surface. Okay. So, here we have pictures which are telling you that how these earthquakes are occurring by the different three reasons. So, the first reason is the colliding. So, these two plates when will be colliding with each other, the earthquake will be occurring on the crust. The second thing is brushing past. So, brushing past means what? When a plate is passed nearby the other plate because of the space between them, this will be known as the earthquake because of this brushing past. The next one is the portion where the movement is occurring in the layer of the earth. A small little movement there you can find out. Now, because of this, what will happen? They will be rushing towards each other, and thus the earth will be moving, and that will be making easy to have the earthquake. So, here Bujo is again saying that the scientists know so much about the earthquakes. Can they also predict about the earthquake? But that is not truly find out. So, what we will do is that the scientists who are working for the earthquake, they could not predict the earthquake. Why? Because it is is a natural process which is going on under the earth's surface. We cannot have any of the prediction about this. The other things which are monsoon related, they can be predicted because monsoon can be visible from the top, from the satellites, but earthquake which could not be mentioned from the below the earth's crust. So we cannot find out and we cannot predict it early. Now here Paheli is saying that I read somewhere that the underground explosions could also make the tremors. So yes, when we are putting some of the explosions under the ground, we can have the place being made over there, and this place will be acquired by the other plates of the earth, and because of that reason the earthquake will be occurring. So these are also the reasons which we are causing to make the earthquake by ourselves. Now some of the places on the earth we can have that they are very weak zones. Why they are weak zones? They are having the earthquakes on and often. Now these places are known as the weak zones and known to be having the seismic or the fault zones. Now these will be in India. Some of the examples are there. We have Kashmir, western central Himalayas, the whole of the northeast portion, the Rana of the Kutch, Rajasthan and the Indo-Gangetic plain are some of the examples, and even in the South Indian also we have some of the places which are coming or falling in this zones. As we can see over here in the map also, it is visible to you people that which of the zones are placed over there in the seismic or the fault zones. Now, the magnitude of the earthquake can be measured in the unit that is called the Richter scale. What is this Richter scale? As we know that every speed, every velocity or amplitude, everything which is in the science in terms that we can measure them in a particular unit. So here also we have the Richter scale which is as a unit to find out the magnitude of the earthquake. So what we can find out, really the destruction or the destructive earthquakes have the magnitude higher than 7 on the Richter scales will be causing the high destructive to the properties of the earth. Now as we know about the Bhuj also, both in Bhuj and Kashmir the earthquakes had magnitude greater than 7.5. So you can think about that what the loss was there. According to it, the 7.5, more than that the Richter scales we have measured over there. So 8 or 7.5 is a very big loss to the human properties when it occurs as an earthquake. What are the instruments by which we can measure this earthquake? So yes, we can say that the seismograph is the instrument by which we can measure the earthquake, but we cannot still predict it, okay, because when it occurs, after that only we come to know that how higher it was and how lower it was. Now here we have the instrument, as you can see over here in the picture also. This is nothing, a small pen only which is holded by a pendulum shaped thing. Now what will be happening? A paper is rolled down below the pen, and whenever the earthquake will be occurring, the pendulum will be waving and making the different signs. It is similar to be the cardiogram that you take out, okay. So what will be happening over there? By the waves which it forms will be counted as the Richter scales over there, and thus we can predict that, or we can find out that how higher the earthquakes have been occurred over there in that place. So for that reason, like many other scales in the science also, that decibel for the and the other examples we have, that decibel is for the loudness, okay. So Richter scale is not linear. Now this means that the earthquakes of the magnitude 6 does not have one and a half times the destructive energy of the earthquake. See, for example, if it is of the 6 Richter scale, it will not be giving so much of the destruction, but if it is more than 1.5 times to the 6, means 7.5, it will be 1000 times giving destruction to the property of the earth. So you can think that within 1.5 point, how much destruction it can cause. So it is very dangerous point when it is 7.5 or higher than 6 over there. So we can say that when it increases by just the 2 magnitudes, that is 8. After 6, when we increase by 2 points, it will be 7 and 8. So when it is 8 Richter scale, it is going to destruct the earth completely. So it is 1000 times more over there. Now what are the protections that we can take against the earthquake? As it could not be predicted, we need to just protect ourselves whenever it will be occurring. So there are some of the points which we need to take out. Now consult the qualified architect for making the good house, because when we are inside the home, we need to be safer from the earthquake. in highly seismic areas, the use of the mud or the timber is better, because when if something will be happening over there, if it fall, it does not harm the person also, and it can be constructed very easily again also. So it is not going to be very much problematic. Now it is better to have the cupboards and the shelf for fixing in the walls. Now as we know that nowadays whatever the constructing buildings are going on, we know that the cupboards are just fixed inside it, so that it will not be having more of the destruction when the earthquake will come, and will not be harming us also. So for example, if the cupboards will be moving, it will be making us also to be having some fractures and some problems also in our body structure. So be careful where you have hang the wall clocks, the photo frames, the water heaters, etc. Because when these earthquakes will be happening, what will be happening? It may come out and fall on the people also. So need to take care about these things also. Since some buildings may catch the fire due to the earthquake, it is necessary for all the buildings, especially the tall buildings, to have the firefighting equipments in the working order. So if it is not working and something happens wrong, so we cannot use it properly also. Okay. Now here we have that the Central Building Research Institute, which was by Roorkee, that is present in the Haridwar, has developed the know how to make the quake resistance houses. So now it is much more required by us to prepare such type of the quake resistant houses. Now if you are at the home, what are the securities that you should be taking, and what are the precautions that by your side you should be having? Now take the shelter under a table and stay there till the shaking stops. So don't come out from the table until it is stopped. Stay away from the tall and the heavy objects that may fall on you. If you are in the bed, means at the night time, if you could not wake up at that time, what you should be doing it? Do not get up and protect your head with a pillow. If you are outside, if you are not inside the house and the earthquake comes, what will be the conditions? Find a clear spot away from the buildings, trees and the overhead power lines, so that when the wires are going on the top, if some of the poles will fall down, the wires will not be falling on you also. Drop to the ground. If you are in the car or in a bus, do not come out, because it will be, whole of the things will be shaking at that time. Ask the driver to slowly drive and go to the open space or the clear spot. Do not come out till the tremors stop. So just be away from the tall things. In short, we can say that just being away from the tall things will be securing us from the earthquake. So this is the ending portion of the chapter. So here we wind up with the 15th chapter, that is some natural phenomena. I hope you have understood it well. Thank you.